Welcome back to a brand new spoiler review here in Max Talks Movies. Today we're talking about episode 11, the penultimate episode of Andor on Disney+. If you're new to the channel, my name is Max Dinenberg. I do movie reviews, TV show reviews, movie rankings, and box office breakdown show every single Monday. I'm getting back on that starting this upcoming Monday. So get back to me on Monday with my new box office breakdown show, bringing on the second week of Black Panther. But if you're new to the channel as well, please subscribe, ring the bell. We're almost at 120 subscribers. It really mean a lot to get to that point. So let's keep going up and climb to 130 even as well. I try to look at every 10 subscribers would be fantastic. Let's keep that going here. Comment down below. Tell me, did you love this episode? Is this your favorite, least favorite episode of the series? Is this your favorite Star Wars series? And tell me, what do you expect to be in the finale of the show next week? Crazy, we've been on basically kind of a 9-week journey after the first 3 episodes were dropped at the same time. Then it was weekly. So let me know. Are you pumped for season 2? And then please like the video, guys. Please, please, please like the video. If you're just tuning in for a couple of minutes and you want to go out, just hitting that like button does mean a lot to me and the channel. So please, please do that as well. So this is episode 11, Daughter of Ferrix. This is actually one of the shorter episodes. It's around like 43 minutes with all the credits. It's really like 39, 38 minutes. And it's really another fantastic episode. I did think episode 10 has so far been the bar for this show. I think it's the best episode of Star Wars television. I really hate that this show, like these live action shows, people don't like comparing to Clone Wars or Rebels, especially with a lot of these shows drawing from those shows. That's a whole other conversation, but I love this show. And I thought this episode was excellent. I thought this is a perfect penultimate episode setting up for, I really do feel like a season finale with things clashing on Ferrix. It seems like that's where everyone's kind of going in that direction. So this is a movie that had a lot going on. Andor doesn't have as much going on, but it's not really a big deal because it was really all him last episode. So we have Andor and Melshi, who of course are both also reunited together in Rogue One. They escape together, and they're climbing. They get captured by these 2 aliens. A really funny scene. It was kind of tough to hear though without subtitles. The volume was kind of weird for those aliens, so I did have to rewatch it with subtitles to know what actually went down, like 100%. But they get out of town, and then they're kind of like forgotten about for the whole rest of the episode. I was actually kind of fascinated by that. But Andor and Melshi basically escape. As I said, they go off world. They're about to, go back to Cassian's old town where he got arrested in. But it's really all about Luthen and Mon Mothma this episode. Once again, Mon Mothma gets a scene in this episode, but once again, it's a fantastic scene where, of course, her cousin Vel shows up at the house, and things are finally coming into place. If you know kind of what the end game happens for Mon Mothma, being one of the top rebel leaders. She has $400,000 in debt, and she kind of gets this, where she tells Vel this, that she's in kind of a deep trouble, and that Luthen kind of warned her this could possibly happen. And then she also said that Aldhani kind of caused all of this as well. And of course, Vel was the person who ran the Aldhani attack earlier in the season, so Vel not revealing that to her. Also, I would love to know if Mon Mothma will ever know if Vel, or if Vel was involved in that. Obviously, she knew Luthen ran that thing, or got a person for it, but he said that he wasn't really a part of it. He gave them someone, but he wasn't the one pulling all of the strings. So really great scene between Mon Mothma and Vel, which really does set up Mon Mothma for a really exciting finale next week. Then Vel goes to Luthen's shop to talk with Kalia. And Luthen's, obviously, we find out he's not there at the shop. And it's a really funny scene. Vel, Kalia's like taking her through all things and trying to that kind of sign language, or not sign language, but the coded, I guess, communication that her and Vel were having. And Vel's kind of like, let's cut the crap. What's going on with Luthen and all these things. And the only information that Kalia gets out of Vel is that Marva dies. Fiona Shaw's character, Cassian's, mother dies in this episode, which is a very heartbreaking part of it, especially towards Cassian towards the end of the episode. The droid is really sad about it the whole episode. But that's the only thing. And obviously that probably means that Cassian's going to get drawn back to Ferrix. Again, all these people do not know that he was in prison, don't know that he was arrested. They didn't really know where he was after Aldhani. So all these things happen, and I've been really want to get to this, and I will, because I thought Luthen's stuff was the best part of the season of this episode, and I thought Stellan Skarsgård's character Luthen has been my favorite part of the show so far. And it really continues in this episode where he has another meeting with Forrest Whitaker's Saul Gerrera. And that's where he was going. And you can see that it was a really fun scene between him and Toon, like him getting like patted down. It was a really funny scene of him. Sorry, actually, before we get to Luthen, sorry, really quick, I want to end on Luthen. Sorry, another big part of the episode is that Cyril gets contacted by his former lieutenant, his former sergeant, played by Alex Ferns, who was so good in the first couple episodes, basically communicating with Cyril in a really funny kind of like FaceTime Zoom type of way where like the communication's just off. And Cyril's like, I mean, Cassian's where? And like, oh, the mom's dead. I mean, Cassian's there. And the back and forth was like really funny. And obviously this will probably mean Cyril will go to Ferrix to try to hopefully catch up with Andor. So we get started. Now we go into the Luthen stuff. So Luthen has a meeting with Saul Gerrera. And after their meeting, Saul's like, let's do it. Let's meet up with, the rebel guy who they've been planning to meet up with. He's like, let's meet up with them. Let's do this. And Luthen's like, actually, he's kind of gonna die. I mean, we know he's on this Imperial track. The Empire knows where he's going to be, and they're just gonna kill 30 people, including him. And Luthen's like, let's pull out of this. And Saul's like, how do you know this? Like, who's your agent? And Luthen can't reveal this person, can't reveal Donnie and who Donnie is. And then Saul's kind of like, who else is in your ear? Everyone feels like, are you ISB? Who are you like working for? And this is where Luthen's kind of like focus on the question. Do you want to warn the person, and then the Empire is suspicious that the agent inside who's the source, Luthen's source, can be caught and we can have more information, or just let him have it, let the Empire feel good about this victory, and let's move on and do another thing and let them feel good up top, and we keep our source. And Saul kind of keeps going off on a tangent. Luthen even brings in Toon's like, hey, he's my person. Saul's kind of confused, and this is where Luthen kind of pulls a gun on him. He's like, I'm not killing you. I need you to focus. And he asked the question again. It was a really good scene, really excellent. And again, Stellan Skarsgård and Forrest Whitaker can really act, and they just are so good in that scene. So they leave with Saul and Luthen basically being on good terms. And again, the person who Luthen's gonna let killed doesn't know who Luthen is. They were in the same room, Luthen said one time, but he doesn't know who Luthen is. And he says that Saul does, and that's a big deal. Their relationship is a big deal, and Luthen does take that seriously. So then Luthen goes off. He's in the middle of a call between him and Kalia, and they're having this great, again, communicative talk. Basically, no one talking about this like buyers and sellers and products, and while really talking about Cassian. And Luthen's like, we have a loose end. I got to figure this out. The store could close if this gets out, or whatever. It was really great dialogue between Luthen. He obviously it ends. And you're like, what the hell is going on? And Luthen's getting, followed by this Imperial cruise ship. And they're clearly asking him, Luthen's clearly tied up. Luthen's trying to escape this situation. And we have, in my opinion, the best action scene of the entire show, which is Luthen escaping this Empire's, interrogation of him. He uses this weird objects to hit the radar gun or whatever it's called. And then Luthen escapes with these two lasers on the side of his ships, cutting through a couple of ships. It was a highly entertaining scene. So now it also seems like Luthen will go to Ferrix to see Cassian. He needs to fix the Cassian problem, or does he kill Cassian? What will happen? Obviously, he won't kill Cassian, but what will happen between the next time we see them this season? But we end the show with Cassian communicating back to Ferrix, and they basically tell him that your mother's dead. Cassian's got a fun luck, and we have this great scene between Melshi and Cassian, and Melshi's like, who escaped? How many people escaped? And Cassian's like, I don't know, 100 people or something. And Melshi's like, we don't really know how many people escaped. It could just be us two, and we need to split up to really spread the message that what's going on here and how to fix it. So they split up. Obviously, maybe they'll see each other again next week. They obviously fight together in the Battle of Scarif in Rogue One. So that should be very interesting to see if they get reunited in this season or into season 2. We shall see. Cassian's kind of left. He kind of like everything's okay, and then he kind of ends the episode kind of just remembering his mother, who he really did care about. I don't think he felt good leaving her behind. But that sets up our final episode of the season. Season 2 is filming this summer. And then we'll also have 12 episodes, and that will lead all the way up to Cassian's point in Rogue One. So this is definitely not the end of Cassian's story. Far from it. We're getting 12 new episodes in 2024, more likely. But this is a top tier Star Wars show, not just a top tier Star Wars show, but a top tier show in general. I've loved this journey on Andor, and I'm so sad, but I'm still pumped for this finale episode next week, which I'll break down here on the channel. So that's my thoughts on Andor episode 11. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe to the bell, comment down below, like the video. My upcoming videos, a review of The Wonder, the new Netflix film that will hit YouTube here tomorrow on Thursday. As well, a lot of videos coming up, including reviews of Disenchanted, Spirited, spoiler reviews of the most recent seasons of Big Mouth and Atlanta I have to get to, box office breakdown show on Monday, a review of The Menu on Monday, and then back on Wednesday, another Andor spoiler review. So a lot of videos I have to get to. I'm not sure if I can get to all of them the next week, but I'll do the best I can to get those videos for you very soon, and I'll see you guys in the next one.